I think Ted Cruz is the candidate to watch. I think he has a lot of potential, and he's slowly climbing the polls. So I like his foreign policy. I think that the U.S. needs to stay away from a non-interventionist approach like Rand Paul's, and we definitely need to stand with Israel as they're one of our allies. Also, I like his stance on domestic issues. I strongly appreciate that he's pro-life. That's something that is really important to me. And I also he's very committed to his values, and he has a great deal of integrity. You know, his voters put him in office, and he's been standing by the promises that he's made.
I think Bernie Sanders is going to be someone who is really align themselves with his agenda, so he's going to definitely be someone to look out for.
I think that Bernie Sanders is definitely a candidate to keep your eyes on. I think he might be a bit underrated, but the time is definitely right for a candidate like him who is genuinely concerned with the plight of minorities.
Personally, I'll be voting for John Kasich. I work for his campaign. He's a Republican that's extremely moderate, so he's fiscally conservative, but socially he's extremely liberal. He's the only candidate to address police brutality, and within Ohio, which is where I'm from, where he's the governor, where there were high-profile cases of African-American police brutality, he addressed them and has actively sought to improve the training of police officers and, those issues. Additionally, he supports gay marriage, and after the Supreme Court ruling, has actively tried to embrace gay marriage, which is extremely rare within the Republican Party. So I think that as a candidate, he's necessary, because as time progresses, the Republican Party is becoming less relevant, and they're not really addressing the needs of our nation, but he's kind of trying to progress with time, and is helping to make the party be more relevant. And so I think he's an important candidate to watch, although he isn't getting as much media attention as other candidates.
A friend and I were discussing that very issue this weekend, and we want Obama to run again because we don't really care for any of the candidates much. My wife and I got really excited this weekend because we didn't know anything about Ben Carson. We just knew he was reassuring and calm and eloquent enough. But then we learned about his stand on a lot of issues that in complete opposition to where we are. So we like him, but don't much care for most of his politics. It would be the first time I've ever voted for a Republican, so that would be unusual too.
I feel like Hillary Clinton would be a valuable candidate just because she has a lot of experience in the White House, and also she's working in the White House right now as Secretary of State. But I dislike Donald Trump because I feel like he's racist with his immigrant comments and all that stuff, and he's a sexist too.
Any candidate that's getting a lot of media coverage right now, Donald Trump, even though he's running within my party, he hasn't committed to the Republican Party, so just pay him no mind. He is not a representation of the Republican Party at all, and his beliefs and his values for the Hispanic Americans, just pretend he's not there. I can't stand him. Also, Hillary Clinton, I'm not wild about. I respect her, but she has been caught in way too many controversies, and I just do not trust her. Any big ticket candidate just is awful in my mind, both parties.
Donald Trump is definitely not the candidate to watch, and equally, Ben Carson is not the candidate to watch.
It's not a field I know enough about, but I know that there's such a long way to go that there'll be plenty of time for other people to worry about it, winnow the field, and then focus on making an informed choice next year.
But I dislike Donald Trump because I feel like he's racist with his immigrant comments and all that stuff, and he's a sexist too.
Hillary Clinton has pretty much ruined her chances. The polls say that, vast majority of Americans just don't trust her anymore. So I don't think that she's going to end up being the Democratic nominee. I think that her time in the spotlight is pretty much over, and it's probably going to come down to hopefully Cruz and I think probably Bernie Sanders, but I think Hillary Clinton is just about done for.